Did Jackie Christie, the self-proclaimed queen of basketball wives, really just crumble into complete disaster right there in front of the judge? You heard that right. No reunion show dramatics, no carefully planned edits, just raw, unforgiving reality. The kind that hits harder than any of her iconic TV meltdowns. We're talking life behind bars, and I mean life, not a comfy celebrity probation or house arrest. We're talking about orange jumpsuits, steel bars, and a number that replaces a name. You might be asking, how did she go from sipping champagne and throwing shade on TV to sobbing on the courtroom floor? Well, brace yourself, because this isn't your average reality TV fallout. This scandal makes her on-screen fights look like petty playground squabbles. We're talking betrayal, fraud, money laundering, and a secret mansion that'll leave your jaw on the floor. This is Jackie Christie's downfall. Live, unfiltered, and messier than you could ever imagine. From the moment Jackie stepped into that courtroom, you could feel the electricity in the air. It wasn't the tension you can just cut with a knife. No, this was suffocating. The cameras were banned, but cell phones buzzed in the pockets of fans, critics, bloggers, and some anonymous sources who'd been waiting for the unraveling of one of reality TV's most infamous stars. Jackie, in her oversized black sunglasses and an attitude as fake as a scripted reality scene, strutted in like she was on another reunion show, clicking her diamond-studded shoes against the cold tile floor. There was no production crew to yell, "Cut!" Just Jackie Christie facing the consequences of a long list of shady moves she couldn't outrun anymore. The prosecution laid it all bare: wire fraud, conspiracy, embezzlement, and money laundering that could have funded a small nation. And the worst part? She showed absolutely zero remorse. The government had spent years collecting evidence, wire transfers, offshore accounts, phony charities, and now it was her turn to face the music. The judge wasted no time. Life behind bars, no parole, no early release. The room went still, like someone pressed pause on the entire courtroom. And then, just like that, Jackie Christie, who once ruled the basketball wives scene with the arrogance of an untouchable diva, collapsed. She went from standing tall to hitting the courtroom floor with a sound that could be heard echoing through the internet. Gasps filled the room. Some people were shocked. Others, well, they couldn't hold back a laugh. One journalist even dropped their phone in disbelief. A paramedic rushed to her side, but even they looked like they couldn't quite believe what they were seeing. But it was real. The woman who once owned every room she entered, the one who threw drinks like they were grenades, was now crumpled on the floor, sobbing. That wasn't just the end of her courtroom performance, it was the end of Jackie's reign. No more sunglasses, no more attitude, no more strut. It was just a woman, broken and exposed. And as the media erupted with memes, Twitter flooded with jokes, and her Jackie down moment went viral, the internet had a field day. Clips of her collapse were remixed with sad violin music. Someone even photoshopped her courtroom photo onto a fallen queen chess piece. Ouch. As they dragged her away, handcuffed, the weight of reality sank in. Gone was the confident woman who thought she could outrun the consequences. Fame didn't shield her from her crimes, and now, there she was, loaded into a prison van, head hanging low. Gone was the diva with the attitude. In her place was just a woman who'd learned the hard way that no amount of fame can protect you when you're laundering millions and starring in a show like Basketball Wives. The silence of that ride to prison was deafening, with only the buzz of a transport radio. Breaking the stillness, announcing other high-profile inmates. The guards stood stoic, and Jackie Christie, once larger than life, was left to face the music she'd been dodging for far too long. No one was asking for autographs. No one was whispering about her iconic legacy. In that cold, unforgiving prison yard, Jackie Christie was reduced to nothing more than inmate number 009452. The moment she arrived, chaos didn't come from the guards. It erupted among the inmates. The news had already spread. A former reality TV star was entering the facility. Some women cheered, others booed. One voice rang out, "Welcome to your real reunion, honey." Jackie's first step inside the prison yard felt straight out of a low-budget crime documentary. Inmates circled her like vultures, sizing her up, whispers filling the air, their eyes burning through her. This was no longer the star of Basketball Wives who had dominated TV for over a decade. She was now just another inmate, a piece of fresh meat in a sea of hardened criminals. Sources say Jackie tried to maintain her posture at first, walking, with the same arrogance that once ruled reality TV. But it only took one careless bump from a group of inmates to knock her off balance. Message received. Fame didn't matter in here. The game had changed. It didn't stop there, though. Jackie's first cellmate, a woman called Big Tasha, wasted no time setting the tone. She looked Jackie dead in the eyes and declared, "You ain't no queen here, princess. You better remember that." Needless to say, Jackie didn't sleep, much that first night, or the second, or the third. Outside, things were falling apart fast. Doug Christie, her husband, who had remained quiet through it all, finally broke his silence. Standing on the front steps of their heavily surveilled home, he looked like a man who'd aged a decade overnight. Cameras were in his face, microphones pressed against his lips as he stood there, voice cracking. "I never believed Jackie could end up here," he said. "I stood by her. I loved her, but some things you can't fix. Some mistakes can't be undone." That simple statement sent the internet into a frenzy. Pray for Doug began trending, and social media was flooded with emotional tributes. Memes calling him the last honest husband went viral. People started offering to adopt him, pouring out sympathy as if he were the true victim in all this. Meanwhile, Jackie's name wasn't met with kindness, only ridicule, memes, and a brutal public downfall. But here's where it got darker. While Jackie sobbed alone in her cell and Doug wept on the steps, Jackie's lawyers were working overtime, quietly negotiating behind the prison walls. It was then that the unexpected twist came. Jackie was ready to flip. She was going to talk. Sources. From inside the prison started leaking information. Jackie Christie, the woman who once prided herself on loyalty, was preparing to give up names, dates, and receipts. She was going to help federal prosecutors unravel a web of financial crimes that extended far beyond her own empire. If she talked, the feds believed they were on the verge of exposing something much larger, a criminal network connected to influencers, moguls, and Hollywood's hidden underbelly. As Jackie's potential deal began to take shape, the world learned of it through an explosive leak. An anonymous email hit the inboxes of every major entertainment journalist, blogger, and even some high-profile news anchors. The subject line, "Jackie is about to sing like a canary." Attached were what appeared to be transcripts of preliminary talks between Jackie's legal team and federal agents. Whether they were real or not didn't matter, the internet believed. Hashtags like Snitch Christie, Jackie Leaks, and the now infamous Canary Queen exploded across social media. Panic gripped Hollywood like wildfire. D-list reality stars scrambled to delete old Instagram posts. Influencers wiped away every trace of connection to Jackie. PR teams went into overdrive. One record label executive reportedly shouted, "Find out if my name's on that damn list." Meanwhile, inside her cell, Jackie was reportedly falling apart. Prison sources claimed that guards were checking on her hourly for emotional distress. Rumors swirled that she wasn't eating, and one fellow inmate allegedly told an undercover blogger, "She just stares at the wall all day. No more drama, no more screaming, just silence." But some weren't buying it. One guard even said, "It's all an act. She's playing the victim card, hoping the court will feel sorry enough to let her go." As the list of people Jackie might expose grew by the hour, it became clear that Hollywood's dirty laundry was about to be aired. There were whispers of former Basketball Wives co-stars, YouTube beauty gurus who made overnight fortunes, a controversial music mogul with deep ties to offshore accounts, and even a retired NBA player whose Vegas exploits were matched by suspicious consulting fees. Then came the final twist, a prison phone call leak. A grainy, muffled recording of Jackie's first phone call from behind bars hit the internet, and within hours, it was everywhere. You could hear Jackie's voice shaking, her tears palpable, as she begged Doug, "Doug, I swear I didn't mean for this to happen. They set me up. I don't know what to do." Please just get me out of here. I can't survive in here, Doug. They're going to break me. Then the call ended. The internet exploded. TikTokers reenacted her sobs dramatically. YouTubers analyzed every frame as if it were a high-profile investigation. One reaction video reached over 10 million views in a single day with the title, "Jackie Christie, From Queen to Begging Inmate." Some fans bought her tears, others didn't. One savage post read, "Girl, you threw drinks at people for fun and now you want sympathy? Sit down." The debate raged on. Was it genuine or was it another ploy? Was Jackie faking it to sway public opinion? Meanwhile, Doug's world was unraveling. Paparazzi camped outside his home. News vans were parked on his lawn. A source close to Doug said he felt betrayed on every level and hinted at divorce papers already being prepared. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, the FBI dropped their bombshell. On a quiet Tuesday morning, black SUVs and helicopters descended on a sprawling Malibu mansion, previously hidden behind layers of shell companies. The mansion was Jackie's. Neighbors watched in stunned silence as armed agents broke down the gates and began seizing evidence. Inside, they found a financial treasure trove, luxury handbags, stacks of uncashed checks, safes full of $100 bills, and even a diamond-encrusted Rolex. The real smoking gun was the paperwork. Files detailing offshore transactions, fake contracts, and a tangled mess of money moving through shell companies in Dubai, Luxembourg, and the Cayman Islands. Everything pointed back to JC Enterprises, Jackie's company. The feds had been patient, but Jackie's arrogance had left them clues to follow. The ripple effect was immediate. Hollywood braced for a storm, and influencers went into hiding. The entertainment world, once solidly behind the glitzy image of fame and fortune, had just been turned upside down. PR firms were dropping their clients faster than a hot potato, scrambling to distance themselves from the fallout. But the real shock came when the FBI dropped a bombshell at a late-night press conference, hinting that this was just the beginning, and further indictments were on the horizon. The press lost its mind. The big question on everyone's lips: who would fall next? Was Jackie Christie really about to bring down an entire influencer mafia? Speculation turned into obsession. One theory that took off suggested that a well-known reality TV producer, famous for crafting drama, had been working closely with Jackie to launder money through fake production companies. Another theory pointed fingers at crypto influencers who had once flaunted their association with Jackie, and now might find themselves on the FBI's radar. Jackie's former assistant, speaking under anonymity, summed it up best in an interview. She thought she could fool everyone, the fans, the brands, the banks, even the government. But the government plays harder. Inside the prison, it seemed Jackie had started to realize the magnitude of the situation. Word spread that she had caught wind of the raid on her mansion. An inmate claimed Jackie looked as if she had seen a ghost. She stopped talking after that. A federal insider dropped a chilling statement. The list of names connected to the Jackie Christie case is longer than anyone could have imagined. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The world watched, captivated. The courtroom drama, the leaked phone call, the raid on her Malibu mansion, each event fueling the frenzy. Yet, shockingly, the Jackie Christie saga still hadn't reached its climax. In the exclusive circles of Hollywood, panic had transformed into full-blown hysteria. Private jets were seen taking off for countries without extradition treaties. Lawyers stayed on 24-hour retainer. Stylists canceled appointments. Influencers deactivated their accounts in droves. The whispers surrounding the list of names were growing louder. Insiders described it as Hollywood's forbidden book of doom. And at the center of it all sat Jackie Christie, now inmate 09452, cold, silent, alone in her cell. She knew, better than anyone, that the worst was yet to come. Jackie had come to terms with one painful truth. She was no longer the queen of reality TV. She was just a pawn in the largest federal takedown of celebrity crime since the Varsity Blues scandal. Federal prosecutors reportedly approached her again, and this time, the conversation was blunt. Cooperate fully. Give us everything or rotten here, forgotten and broke. The story goes that Jackie looked them in the eye and whispered, I'll give you the names. The fallout was immediate. High-profile names began leaking, one after another. A superstar rapper, a former child actor turned entrepreneur, a luxury handbag mogul, a famous DJ with shady ties to cryptocurrency dealings. Each headline sent shockwaves through social media. Jackie had flipped, and Hollywood was crumbling under the weight of her revelations. Reporters camped outside federal buildings, while TikTok exploded with wild conspiracy theories. One creator dramatically declared, "Jackie Christie just Thanos snapped half of influencer culture into oblivion." Meanwhile, in the background, Doug Christie, now humiliated beyond belief, quietly filed for divorce. The once loyal husband, whose world had collapsed before the eyes of millions, was done. An insider claimed Doug was the last person standing for her. Now, even he's gone. Jackie, however, showed no signs of stopping. Sources revealed that she had handed over mountains of evidence, hundreds of documents, bank records, wire transfers, voice notes, even screenshots of secret group chats between A-list celebrities, discussing tax evasion and laundering appearance fees through shell companies. Every day she remained alive behind bars was another day Hollywood elites couldn't sleep. Then came the final act, the moment no one expected. The FBI held an emergency press conference that sent the media into a frenzy. "We have dismantled a vast celebrity-driven criminal laundering operation. The individual who provided critical evidence and testimony that broke this case wide open was Jacqueline Christie." The reporters went wild. Cameras flashed. Agents were bombarded with questions. Somewhere, in the quiet of her prison cell, Jackie Christie smirked for the first time in weeks. Because she knew something the world didn't. This wasn't about justice. It was about survival. Social media's reaction was equally chaotic. The hashtag #JackieSnitchy trended worldwide. Memes flooded the internet, depicting her face on movie posters with titles like The Informant. One viral remix even took footage of her courtroom collapse and turned it into a song with the lyrics, "Started at the top, now we're here." Public opinion was sharply divided. Some called her a snake, a sellout, the ultimate traitor who would sacrifice anyone to save herself. Others saw her as a survivor, a woman who had played the system better than the system ever played her. Legal analysts speculated that Jackie had secured a once-in-a-lifetime plea deal, a life sentence, reduced to a decade with parole options. From the queen of chaos to the queen of cooperation, Jackie's story became the most dramatic plot twist in reality TV history. But as the dust began to settle, a darker rumor emerged. Sources hinted that Jackie, now a key witness, had been targeted within the prison after turning on her former associates. Whispers about a price on her head circulated through the inmate grapevine. Allegedly, the feds had transferred her to a secret location under protective custody. Officially, no one confirmed this. But unofficially, the theory that Jackie Christie had entered witness protection began to take hold. One TikTok user racked up 25 million views claiming they had seen Jackie buying groceries under an alias in Ohio. Another claimed she was working as a waitress in Alaska. Truth or fantasy? The world may never know. But one thing was certain, Jackie Christie had pulled off the impossible. She had fallen further than any celebrity before her, only to rise again as the ultimate anti-hero of influencer culture. From reality TV stardom to prison, Jackie had written herself into the biggest real-life plot twist ever, and the world couldn't look away. So here's the question. Is Jackie Christie a victim of the system? Or is she just the latest in a long line of survivors who played the game and won?